So I thought I would give a little bit of an update. I'm still kind of uploading videos to the YouTube channel right now, which is taking a little bit of time because the internet service at this motel that I'm at isn't great, but I haven't really done a lot of videoing the last few days because I think it was the end of the fourth day. I think that was the day where I had kind of a pretty rough hike, about 14 miles, which was largely uphill. And not just really uphill, but like pretty rocky, pretty steep, particularly the last few miles. And it was pretty, I think, rough on my body, and I probably should have maybe stopped a little sooner than I did. And slept fine the night before. I think I was camped at almost 11,000 feet that night. And I woke up the next day and felt pretty good. I had some ramen, I think, the night before for dinner to try and get something in my stomach. I was pretty tired and it was kind of late when I got into camp. But anyway, ate some oatmeal in the morning, ate like an energy bar that had quite a bit of protein and some carbs in it that morning, and actually felt okay. It was pretty much all downhill and a level hike that day, so I was really hoping to be able to put in some miles. I did okay for, I think, about the first 2 hours, and then just really hit a wall that I just wasn't able to get past. And I thought maybe I knew it wasn't the heat because it was still morning, it was pretty cool. It wasn't really, like I said, it was pretty level. So I knew maybe something wasn't right. So I drank some electrolytes, hoping maybe that would help. Ate a little bit more food, hoping that would help. And I finally ended up stopping after about 7 miles and just wasn't able to keep going. So I actually started feeling pretty nauseous and a little bit lightheaded. So I was kind of concerned that maybe I was getting some altitude sickness, and had some medication that I had gotten in Illinois when I was there recently to take my dog to my mom's house, and thankfully I got it. I texted my boyfriend that I wasn't feeling well, and he volunteers for search and rescue in El Paso County, and he contacted a doctor actually that I also know that I worked with in the ER for a long time, and who my boyfriend also works with search and rescue. And the doctor gave me some recommendations about dosing for taking the altitude pills, and kind of strategize like what my next steps were going to be. I think it was a pretty mild case, but for a while it was a little bit concerning. I was trying to like navigate what would happen if I started getting worse, and how was I going to get out, and kind of covered all of that with my boyfriend at the time, trying to think about worst case scenario. So thankfully I took the medication and felt better in the morning. Was still tired, but felt better. And so I waited, I kind of rested a little bit in the morning and left late that day at maybe about like 11:30 or something, and hiked maybe, I don't know, another 8-9 miles or something like that, and then camped that night. Found a pretty nice spot to camp, and stopped a little bit sooner than I wanted to. I think I wanted to do about 10 miles that day, but was feeling kind of tired, so decided to stop, and got a decent night's sleep, and then hiked out the next day to the Kenosha Pass trailhead to meet my boyfriend, where I decided to get a motel and was planning on actually hiking on this morning, but when I got into town yesterday, I was really tired and was really struggling to stay awake. Not even really just that, but like just my body just felt really fatigued. So I decided to take a 0 day today, which is what I'm doing right now. So the plan, I think, I've gone through a lot of my food and kind of gotten some things together. My plan is to hike to Breck, hopefully in about 2.5 days, and then just gonna go through Breck and resupply and Copper, and then go from Copper into Leadville for my other resupply. The other thing that happened, didn't really happen, but that I've had an issue with is the sleeping bag that I've been using, which is it's actually a 0 degree bag, which I think is too much, even for me, being a cold sleeper. But I was sleeping the other night, and really I don't think the temperature's gone below maybe 40, if that. And when I was camping up close to 11,000 feet, I was feeling a little bit cold, and I couldn't really figure out why that would happen with a 0 degree bag. That was a little disappointing. And when I got up the next morning, I inspected my sleeping bag, and there's like a whole section on the bottom that you lay on top of when you sleep that is based, I mean, there's no fill, there's nothing in it. You could literally see my sleeping pad through the bag, which kind of upset me. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I need to get a new sleeping bag, because I don't want to drag around this big bulky bag. One, if it's not going to keep me warm, but also it takes up a lot of space. It's also heavy. So I've been kind of toying around for a while with the idea of getting a quilt. I am a side sleeper, and I do kind of like to stick my leg out every once in a while, and but I am also a cold sleeper, so I've always been sort of on the fence about whether it's something I wanted to do. But I did go ahead and actually buy a quilt today, and having it sent to my boyfriend's house, who I think when he resupplies me in Leadville, I'll be able to pick it up from him. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. It's much lighter. It's almost 2 pounds lighter than my sleeping bag, so that is like huge, and I'm sure it will not take up near as much space in my bag. So I'm kind of excited about that, to see how that goes. But anyway, so I think probably the last couple of days of videos are going to be probably combined, because yeah, I haven't done a lot of videos just because of how I was feeling, and just kind of trying to conserve phone battery in case I needed it in an emergency. So so I'll probably put those videos up soon, and it'll be kind of a compilation together for those last few days. But hoping to get started tomorrow. I feel pretty good today. Gonna start taking my maintenance altitude meds again today before I head out tomorrow, because I think the pass, Kenosha, is a little over 12,000 feet. So yeah, but I'm excited to get going again. And yeah, we'll see you on the trail. Thanks.